However, I had to file a motion to get him to leave me alone so we can both go and live our life in peace. Like, I'm confused because y'all know peace is what I want. Like, I don't want no smoke, bruh. Like, I'm too happy right now.
Because Lori Harvey, the silent force behind Hollywood's quiet storms, just tore through the calm and revealed a scheme so insidious, so chillingly deliberate, so emotionally engineered that even Teyana Taylor was blindsided. This isn't the kind of betrayal anyone sees coming. It's the kind that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew.
Teyana Taylor and Pierre split up over the holidays. They did. That is such a hot couple gone to waste. They are so, together. They were so beautiful. They dated less than a year. But here's the part that took me out. Women are already flooding Aaron's comments, trying to get his attention because he posted a very, very fine as hell picture of himself.
From a man once praised as the next Denzel, a rising name, a quiet force moving through Hollywood with the kind of presence that didn't need noise. But now Pierre isn't trending for talent, charm, or red carpet appeal. He's at the center of whispers alleging he played two of the most influential women in Black Hollywood against each other, turning private emotions into public leverage to elevate his own star. Lori isn't giving interviews. She doesn't need to, because what reportedly slipped behind closed doors, what insiders claim she revealed in a moment that wasn't meant for the public, is now crawling across blogs, gossip columns, and every corner of social media. And the story spreading? It's explosive. Supposedly, it started with a late-night phone call, a tense backstage encounter, and a direct message so calculated it allegedly left Teyana shaken. But the deeper shock isn't just what Lori is said to have uncovered about Aaron's connection with Teyana. It's who sources claim helped orchestrate the entire situation from the shadows. This isn't being framed as a messy love triangle. Insiders are calling it a setup, a strategy. A betrayal so brazen that people in industry circles are reportedly murmuring, if this all comes out, his career won't survive it. And Lori? She's no longer watching quietly. According to those close to the situation, she's done observing from the sidelines. They say she has receipts, timelines, messages, patterns. But before diving into alleged lies, emotional fallout, and the scandal now sending shockwaves through entertainment spaces, we have to rewind. Because to understand how Lori Harvey reportedly ended up exposing Pierre and how Teyana Taylor's name became tied to the storm, we need to revisit the version of events the public was first given. The polished narrative. The curated images from red carpets, music sets, and cryptic captions that hinted at romance but never confirmed anything. Beneath that glossy surface, sources suggest, the reality may have looked very different. Let's start with Pierre. To many, he was the mysterious, creative, theater-trained, striking presence, the kind of face casting directors remember. Hollywood labeled him a future leading man, and for a time, he appeared to match the hype. His early performances were intense. His interviews measured and thoughtful. Fans were drawn to
Medicine for Melancholy,
directed
by Barry Jenkins.
He kept relationships private, avoided gossip cycles, and never fed the rumor mill. That mystery only made the internet more curious. Then came the talk, not loud headlines, just subtle murmurs. Was he seen at an event Teyana attended? Were they staying at the same hotel during a project weekend? Were they collaborating or getting closer than that? At first, it sounded like standard industry speculation, until Teyana Taylor's name started surfacing repeatedly in connection with his. Now, Teyana is no ordinary figure. Artist, director, performer, a creative powerhouse known for discipline and edge. The kind of woman who commands a set, raises a family, and still owns every major appearance she makes. But her romantic history had been complicated. Her split from Iman Shumpert was meant to be private and respectful, at least publicly. Behind the scenes, sources hinted it was more difficult than fans realized. That's reportedly when Aaron entered the picture. Insiders claim that after her separation process began, Teyana and Aaron grew closer while working together. What started as professional collaboration allegedly turned into something more personal. Long rehearsals, creative chemistry, quiet dinners away from cameras. They
I'm
weren't
about to know
photographed
what's
at
up.
major events.
Okay,
But
Letterboxd is this.
eagle-eyed fans noticed subtle overlaps, similar locations, matching accessories, posts uploaded minutes apart. Speculation grew about a new creative power pairing forming quietly. But for Lori Harvey, if the rumors are true, the situation carried a different weight. Because according to people in her circle, she and Aaron shared a history that never made headlines, a connection that reportedly unfolded long before Teyana's name was ever linked to his. Sources claim Aaron had been pursuing Lori months earlier, approaching her not with flashy gestures, but with deep conversations, late-night messages about purpose, growth, and emotional alignment. For someone used to surface-level attention, that approach allegedly felt meaningful. He didn't rush. He observed. He learned. And that, some say, is what made it complicated. Those close to Lori suggest she kept her guard up. She was healing, focused, cautious about letting anyone in. Aaron, they say, remained patient until suddenly he was being connected to Teyana instead. Lori, from a distance, reportedly watched it unfold without public reaction. That's her reputation, composed, silent, never messy in the media. But privately, insiders claim, she started noticing patterns. Familiar phrases, similar compliments, creative ideas once discussed with her allegedly appearing in new contexts. That's when, according to those same sources, quiet observations began turning into serious questions. The same compliments he once murmured to Lori were now appearing in Teyana's captions. The same poetry he had privately shared was suddenly echoing through interviews. Even a creative project he'd once described as written for a woman like you allegedly resurfaced with Teyana attached instead. That's when the pieces reportedly began to lock into place. Lori didn't just suspect overlapping romance. Sources say she started to believe she was watching a pattern repeat itself in real time. According to insiders, her inner circle grew uneasy. Lori allegedly began distancing herself from shared contacts, quietly revisiting old messages, comparing dates, cross-checking travel timelines, and public appearances. What those close to her claim she uncovered left her stunned. The emotional timelines with her and Teyana didn't run separately. They reportedly overlapped. This wasn't a clean break followed by a new chapter. Sources suggest it looked more like a calculated transition, one connection fading just as another was being secured. And if the rumors are true, Teyana had no idea. That's when Lori did something no one predicted. She reached out directly. No press. No spectacle. Just one woman calling another behind the scenes. What was allegedly shared in that conversation reportedly changed everything. Insiders claim Lori revealed the timeline overlap and then showed a screenshot that shook Teyana to the core. In it, Aaron was allegedly telling someone else, "Tay's great for the brand, but Lori, she's the one I really wanted." After that, Teyana reportedly went silent. Social media activity slowed to nothing. A scheduled appearance was missed. And according to multiple sources, a project she had been developing with Aaron was suddenly scrapped. Communication cut. Doors closed. But the story didn't end there, not even close. Because Lori, sources say, wasn't just warning Teyana. She was digging deeper, tracing patterns, asking who else might have been involved behind the curtain. And that's where this situation allegedly shifts from emotional drama to something far more strategic. This wasn't just heartbreak, insiders claim. It started to look like positioning, like moves on a board. And if Aaron believed he was in control of the game, sources suggest Lori had just overturned it completely. Once she flagged the overlapping timelines and exposed the emotional recycling, she reportedly kept going, asking who introduced him to certain projects, who opened specific doors, who benefited from the optics. The answers, according to whispers in industry circles, rattled more than just a few egos. Shortly after Lori's alleged call, Teyana quietly exited a film project she had been developing, a film where Aaron had been personally brought on. And here's where another name reportedly enters the picture. Not a celebrity. Not someone the public would recognize. But in Hollywood back channels, he's known as a fixer. A strategist. someone who specializes in rebuilding reputations and crafting carefully engineered comebacks.
We'll call him M.
Sources claim M had previously worked with artists and actors trying to recover from controversy, helping reshape public narratives and repackage images. And according to murmurs, Aaron was being positioned as M's next success story. Lori's side, insiders allege, uncovered email exchanges between M and producers discussing Aaron's market potential. In those messages, if they're authentic, Aaron was allegedly described as charismatic, emotionally intelligent, spiritually grounded. But the detail raising eyebrows? A suggestion that strategic public associations could accelerate his rise. One alleged line from those communications reportedly stood out. Pair him with Harvey for elegance and high fashion appeal. Link him with Teyana for artistic credibility and cultural depth. 2 different lanes. 2 different images. Same goal. If those claims hold weight, this wasn't just dating. It was branding. Lori wasn't random. Teyana wasn't coincidence. According to the narrative forming behind closed doors, they may have represented different pieces of the same career blueprint, a PR strategy Aaron allegedly believed would unfold quietly, without anyone ever comparing notes. And it only spirals further. A voicemail emerged, leaked from an anonymous burner. Aaron's voice is low, calm, almost clinical. She's playing hard to get, but Lori's already in. I just have to time it right. Teyana, she's loyal, emotional. She'll never leave unless someone tells her to. Who was he speaking to? Insiders speculate it was M. But the tone wasn't intimate. It was tactical, strategic. The words treated relationships like pieces on a chessboard, and not one of them knew the rules. That's when Lori, sources say, finally snapped. Known for her composure, her elegance, her silence under pressure, she allegedly didn't cry, didn't scream. Instead, she opened her notes app and meticulously documented every moment that felt off. She pulled screenshots, text chains, timelines, receipts, building what insiders describe as a damning case. What she allegedly uncovered was staggering. DMs between Aaron and models, influencers, actresses, all following the same blueprint. Spiritual flattery, trauma bonding, promises of futures never meant to exist. One message to a Miami model read, "I know you're guarded. That's what drew me in. I want to build something sacred." The same words he had sent Lori. The same words that appeared in Teyana's captions.
Copy, paste,
Repeat. Lori allegedly compiled everything, screenshots, voice notes, even a FaceTime still of Aaron shirtless in bed with an open Bible captioned, "Just meditating," reportedly sent to multiple women at the same time. Seduction disguised as spiritual alignment. And Lori was done staying silent. Then came Teyana's breakdown. According to a close source, when Lori sent her a folder, titled Simply Truth, containing messages, timestamps, receipts, Teyana didn't just cry. She collapsed. At a luxury New York hotel during a brand shoot, she locked herself in the bathroom for 45 minutes. When she emerged, she was trembling, sobbing, whispering, "He used me. He used all of us." She canceled the shoot, vanished from social media, went off-grid for 2 weeks. No team. No phone. No contracts. Silence. Meanwhile, Aaron was touring, smiling for cameras, hyping upcoming projects, celebrating Black love, the audacity allegedly undeniable. And this is when Lori delivered her first public strike. On a red carpet for a luxury fashion house, she was asked casually, "Do you believe in love right now?" She paused, smiled, and replied,
American Gangster?
"I believe in receipts." That's
I love
all
that.
I'll say. The internet erupted. Blogs lit up. Headlines screamed, "Did Harvey just expose Aaron Pierre's love game?" Teyana Taylor goes silent after betrayal. Aaron's image cracking. PR stunt or real love? Hollywood's latest scandal. Then came the twist no one expected. Someone from M's own team allegedly leaked a Google Doc, a pitch deck, a strategy document titled AP, Ascension Plan Phase 2. It detailed objectives like securing spiritual romance with legacy brand women Lori and Teyana, leveraging heartbreak for press, and positioning Aaron as an emotionally evolved leading man.
Cold.
Calculated.
Disgusting.
Suddenly, Aaron wasn't just a manipulator. According to insiders, he was an industry experiment, a persona sculpted through emotional warfare, a man using black women as stepping stones for advancement. Lori, in this version, wasn't just exposing a man, she was allegedly unraveling a system. One that teaches men to weaponize sensitivity, exploit trauma, and weaponize vulnerability for fame. But she wasn't finished. There was one final bomb. A FaceTime leak, Teyana on one end, Aaron on the other. She asks, "Did you love me at all?" Aaron pauses, looks down, and says, "I loved the version of me you helped the world fall for."
Not you. Not sorry.
A confirmation that, according to the emerging narrative, it was never about Teyana. Never about Lori. Always about him. If you thought Aaron Pierre's downfall had peaked, think again. Lori lit the match. Teyana poured gasoline. What followed was a wildfire of receipts, betrayal, and complete collapse. Within 24 hours of the FaceTime leak, Teyana reemerged. Not in tabloid photos. Not staged. Just a mirror selfie. Red eyes, no makeup, black hoodie reading, "God's strongest soldiers cry in private." The internet exploded.
She was back. Broken.
And this was no ordinary heartbreak. It was psychological warfare. Honest could have spared everyone. But Aaron allegedly played them all. Teyana wasn't healing quietly. She was mourning the version of herself that had believed in him. And then Lori.
And she
didn't just post a quote or a meme. She posted a story slide. White background, black text to the woman he's manipulating next. "Don't ignore your gut." I didn't. And now I know why. Boom. Another detonation. But before the dust could settle, the next twist hit like a wrecking ball. A woman slid into a popular gossip blog's DMs. She wasn't famous, not a model, not an influencer, but what she had: audio. An actual recording of Aaron Pierre late at night whispering into her phone. She thinks this is love, but it's really alignment. "I'm manifesting my role through her energy. I need her to stay emotionally invested or the spell breaks." Spell breaks. The recording spread like wildfire. Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Even Reddit number Aaron Pierre started trending. Number spell break, gate number manipulation masquerade. Fans were furious. Celebrities started unfollowing him quietly, and soon not so quietly. Singers, actors, producers, even a few pastors who had publicly praised Aaron's spiritual journey deleted their tweets. And guess what? Teyana, she saw the chaos and joined in. For the first time since Lori exposed the truth, Teyana took to Instagram Live. No makeup, no lights. Just her in a car talking from the heart. "I really thought he was sent. I thought maybe God finally gave me peace after pain. But that man was studying me like a character. Practicing lines, learning my triggers, loving me in the exact language I begged to hear. And I ate it up because it was all I ever wanted." Then she paused and dropped the final bomb. He said, "You were a case study for how to land a queen." A case study. Social media went nuclear. Memes, fan edits, TikToks analyzing the manipulation tactics he used. Psychologists on YouTube breaking down his language. Pastors condemning fake prophetic men using scripture for seduction. Aaron's name became synonymous with emotional scamming. And Lori, she wasn't done. She posted an image, a text thread. The top said, February 3rd, a message from Aaron. "You're my lighthouse. You bring me home to myself." Below it, a message to another woman.
Same day.
"You're my mirror. I've never seen myself clearer." Same
Medicine
energy,
for Melancholy,
same manipulation.
directed
It
by
wasn't
Barry
just
Jenkins.
romantic. It was pathological. This man had built an entire persona. The deep divine conscious king, the healer with a heart of gold. The artist who doesn't chase, he aligns. And now it was all crumbling. But Lori wanted to make something
clear.
In a private DM leaked by one of her close friends, she allegedly said, "This isn't revenge. This is prevention. I won't let another Black woman get emotionally trafficked by a man pretending to be whole. Emotionally trafficked. The words echoed across the culture. Podcasts picked it up. Radio hosts debated it. Panel shows had full segments titled, "Are Emotionally Intelligent Men the New Narcissists?" And Aaron, he went completely dark. No appearances, no lives, no statements. His team tried to release a note on his behalf, something vague about miscommunication and growth through pain. But it was too late. The receipts were out, the facade was shattered, and the public unforgiving. But then came the final blow of this chapter. Another woman came forward. This time, a name people recognized, an indie singer, one who had worked with Teyana on background vocals. One who had dated Aaron quietly during the early filming stages of his breakout role. She dropped a thread titled, "I kept quiet out
I'm
of
about to
shame.
know what's up.
See, now
Okay,
we were all
Letterboxd
part
is
of the
this.
script." She detailed love-bombing texts, prayers sent at midnight, journals he asked her to write in then. Used her entries as lines and additions. Yes, he was literally plagiarizing women's emotions for roles. And the worst part, he wasn't even sorry. He just moved on to the next woman with a soft heart and a trauma he could exploit. It was official. Aaron Pierre wasn't just toxic. He was dangerous. And Lori Harvey, she didn't just expose a man. She dismantled a myth. The world had seen heartbreak before. It had witnessed celebrity drama, even cheating scandals. But what was unfolding with Aaron Pierre, Lori Harvey, and Teyana Taylor wasn't just another messy triangle. This was a cultural event, and the internet took sides like it was the Super Bowl. Let's start with the fans. Within hours of the last round of receipts, Aaron's poetic manipulation, his stolen emotions, his mirror and lighthouse lies, social media split down the middle. One side was ready to cancel him for good. This ain't just heartbreak. This is emotional fraud. He weaponized healing. That's a different kind of evil. The new breed of narcissist talks about alignment while stabbing you in the soul. Lori and Teyana are heroes.
Period.
But then the other side crawled out of the woodwork. The defenders, the "but we don't know the whole story" crowd. The men who saw Aaron not as a manipulator, but as a victim. They flooded comment sections with lines like, "Y'all acting like women don't play games too. He just dated multiple people. That's not illegal. This is just a smear campaign because he's a rising Black king." Some even started the hashtag #ProtectTuranPierre, and that's when celebrities jumped in. Let's break down the reactions. Jalmani posted a cryptic tweet. "Spirituality without accountability is a weapon." No names, but everyone knew exactly who it was aimed at. Kik Palmer jumped on her Instagram story with a full message. The scariest thing isn't a loud manipulator. It's the soft-spoken, healing one. The one who reads your love language just to imitate it back. Stay alert, queens. Megan Good posted a photo of herself and Lori from a past event with a caption, "They always come for the composed ones until the composed ones start leaking receipts." John Boyga unfollowed Aaron publicly. Didn't say a word.
Didn't have to.
Teyana's inner circle started clapping back hard. Her best friend posted a video saying, "That man studied her like a thesis paper. Wrote poems based on her pain. Turned her trauma into talking points, and we let him because we thought he was one of the good ones." Meanwhile, brand deals began disappearing like dominoes. Chart Decreasing, a luxury skincare company, pulled their campaign with Aaron.
Chart
Decreasing, a major magazine, pulled his upcoming cover, replacing it last minute with a spotlight on women who hold the industry together. Chart Decreasing, 2 streaming platforms, quietly removed his upcoming indie project from promo. It wasn't an official blacklist yet, but the walls were closing in. And then came the interviews. Talk show hosts and culture critics had a field day speaking. This isn't just about one man. This is about a trend. These woke wolves in sheepskin hoodies pretending to be emotionally evolved while privately collecting hearts like trophies. Speaking, the era of the healing hustler is over. We've seen the formula, and it's time to shut it down. Speaking, Aaron Pierre turned therapy talk into theater. He was acting like he was healing, but in reality, he was just preparing his next monologue. Even some pastors joined the conversation. One viral sermon clip showed a preacher yelling, "The devil no longer comes with fangs. He comes with crystals, incense, and a journal." Twitter lost it. But not everyone turned on Aaron. A few actors, mostly older men, called for grace. One said, "Let's not destroy a man over mistakes. He's young. He's still learning." To which a fan replied, "Nah, he wasn't learning. He was rehearsing."
Oof.
As for Lori Harvey, she didn't say much more publicly, but her team confirmed she was focused on healing and creating safe spaces for women to share their truth. A source close to her said, Lee didn't do this for revenge. She did this to warn the next girl. She's tired of watching men play enlightened just to feed their egos. And Teyana, she's reportedly in the studio not to sing, but to produce a short film inspired by emotional manipulation masked as growth. The working title, Sacred Games. Yeah, it's about to get deep. At this point, Pierre had gone full ghost mode. No posts, no responses, no appearances. But sources say his PR team is scrambling, trying to rebrand, find a new narrative, and rebuild trust. But after everything that's come out, that trust is shattered. And the public, they're waiting not for an apology, but for the final twist, because they know this drama isn't over. Just when you thought this scandal had spilled every last drop of tea, just when the dust seemed to settle and Pierre had fully disappeared into PR exile, a new storm broke loose. And this time it didn't
Come from Lori.
It didn't come from Teyana. It came from a woman no one expected. A woman whose name hadn't even been mentioned in this scandal until now. We're talking about Sarah Blake.
Who's she?
She's not an actress, not a singer, not an influencer. But if you've ever been deep in the Hollywood back channels, you know she's a well-connected stylist, quiet behind the scenes, but tapped into every circle. And now she's breaking her silence in a late-night notes app confession posted to her private Instagram. Screenshot and reposted by the Neighborhood Talk, Gossip in the City, and Hollywood Unlocked within minutes. Sarah dropped a bomb. I was with Aaron from 2021 to 2023 on and off. We weren't public. We weren't messy. I was the one he called when he was between women, and I knew he was seeing others. But what I didn't know was that he got me pregnant.
What?
The internet gasped, and she didn't stop there. Sarah continued. He asked me to keep it quiet. Said it would ruin his alignment. Offered to compensate me spiritually and financially. Said he'd manifest peace for me, but I lost the baby. And he ghosted me the next day. Her final line, he told me I was part of his evolution. I realized I was just a deleted chapter in his PR script. Cue chaos. Comment sections erupted. He had a whole other woman. You mean to tell me Lori and Teyana were just the visible part of this disaster? He told her compensate spiritually. I've never been this angry at sage smoke in my life. And guess who else caught wind? Lori Harvey. She didn't say a word. She didn't post a quote. She just shared a photo of herself on her story wearing a hoodie that read, "Don't tell me who you are. Show me who you hurt." And then came the final twist of all. An anonymous email leaked to Juma. It claimed to be from a former assistant of Aaron's during his rise. And in the email, a horrifying line. He kept a Google Doc titled Ascension Ladder. A list of women categorized by what they offered energetically. The world lost its mind. Social media collapsed into chaos. Podcasts stopped mid-episode to record bonus updates. YouTubers uploaded emergency deep divvies with titles like Aaron Pierre's Energy Pyramid Scandal, Ascension Ladder, The Women He Used, The Cult of Conscious Clout, a breakdown, and in the middle of it all, Teyana Taylor re-emerged with a cryptic tweet. God doesn't play about me. That's why the truth keeps finding its way to me. Lori liked it. Sarah followed her, and fans began calling them the Survivor Circle. Meanwhile, Aaron's camp tried everything. A damage control campaign, private apologies, silent donations to women's healing organizations. But it was too little, too late because the final nail in the coffin wasn't from a celebrity. It wasn't a receipt. It wasn't a rumor. It was from a fan. A TikTok video went viral. A young woman, reading from a book of affirmations Aaron had once recommended in interviews. She turned the camera to herself and said, "This whole time we thought Pierre was healing, but he was harvesting. He wasn't growing. He was performing." That video hit 14 million views in 2 days. And just like that, Pierre wasn't just a scandal. He was a cautionary tale. But here's the cliffhanger. A screenshot leaked late last night. A new name, a new woman, a rising actress from a major Netflix series, and she's now rumored to be seeing Pierre. Yes, even after everything. Is it real? Is it PR damage control? Is she being played too? No one knows. But one thing is certain, this drama is far from over. So, now that the truth is out, we have to ask the question that's been haunting every single person watching this unravel. Was it ever love, or was it all a performance? Pierre didn't just break hearts, he broke trust. He shattered the illusion of the conscious king, the emotionally evolved man, the healer in a hoodie. And now we're seeing the cost. Fire Lori Harvey risked her brand to expose him. Fire Teyana Taylor tore open her pain to warn us. Fire Sarah Blake stood in the fire to tell the world. So, here's what we need from you. Yes, you watching this right now. Backhand index pointing down. Drop a comment and tell us, do you think Pierre was playing all of them? Was this spiritual manipulation disguised?